Hello, I'm here at the National Retail Federation event in New York City in the Javits Center. I've just come from the HPE booth, which you can see behind me. Spent some time with Ken DeLovo there from their team. Lots to unpack announcements from those guys today, particularly what they're doing for me from the non-stop perspective. 90% of credit card transactions go through the HPE non-stop platform. New announcements from those guys today, which I've got to unpack and get into, particularly around encryption, updates coming from them. So really need to get into that. Not talked about part of the HPE portfolio, but I think it's crucial what enterprises are doing with credit cards. That landscape's getting really challenged from a fraud perspective. So being able to real-time score and do some of the credit card analysis that HPE is driving with those non-stop platforms, that's foundational. Also got into the campus and branch and what the company's doing there with some announcements they're making today. A new 8-port switch. That's obviously not going into the data center, that's going out into those retail environments. We're going to see that connecting point of sale right underneath the counter or mounted on the ceiling. But that's going to be foundational. Starting to see also the company talk about its combined portfolio. Obviously they made a huge Juniper acquisition, which I think was 14 billion from a total acquisition size. So going to be a big year for HPE as they look to combine the Juniper and Aruba portfolio. Started to get some early headlights into what the company's doing in that space. So that's going to be fascinating for me. We talked about Marvis from an AI perspective. We're going to start to see that agentically come through more and more in the networking space. So I'm expecting to see the level of automation dial up as it gets more and more. So the trust, we talked about that. How many times do you need to trust an agentic operation before it becomes something that you can take the human in the loop? Is that on the 10th, 20th, 100th approval from a human a network engineer and network ops? Gonna see that become a key vector over the next few months as agentic plays out. We talked about the Mist portfolio. I'm expecting 2026 to be a fantastic year for HPE, specifically in the networking space. I think as we move to Discover later on in the year, we're going to see lots coming from the company. I'm going to expect on that roadmap, we're going to see more of Mobile World Congress as well in March, where Ron Westphaler and I are going to be there with the HPE team. So big year for HPE. Check back, look for more content. Ron Westphal's going to be covering some of the announcements today from a networking point of view. I'm going to be covering those announcements from a compute with those retail-focused announcements that are coming from HPE in the non-stop portfolio. So check back for more. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.